Once in a bustling market town called Chestnut Fairmont, there lived a man named Greg who loved only one thing: eating food that wasn't his. Greg wasn't just an ordinary man. He was notorious for being greedy and selfish, taking what didn't belong to him. Whether it was pies cooling on windowsills or bread from a vendor's cart, Greg's motto was, "If I see it, it's mine." Greg roamed the cobblestone streets, wearing a tattered coat and a smirk on his face. He would lurk around bakeries and food stalls, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. One day, he snatched a roasted chicken from Farmer Bella's table as she turned to greet a customer. The townsfolk began whispering, "Watch out for greedy Greg." Children would giggle, but adults were wary. But Greg didn't care. With a loaf of bread in one hand and a wedge of cheese in the other, he'd declare, "I'm the king of Chestnut Fairmont. No feast is safe from me." One evening, Greg stumbled upon a mysterious fortune-teller's tent at the edge of the market. Her name was Madame Mirabel, and she had a sly sparkle in her eyes. Greg approached, his stomach rumbling, hoping for a free meal. "Come closer, greedy Greg," she said with a knowing smile. "Do you wish to know your future?" "Will it include pie?" Greg joked, chuckling. Mirabel waved her hand over a crystal ball. "I see. A great hunger in your future. A hunger that will not be satisfied unless you change your ways." Greg scoffed, thinking it was nonsense. "I've never been hungry for long. There's always someone else's lunch to steal." Madame Mirabel smirked. "Very well. The choice will soon be yours." The next morning, Greg heard about a grand banquet being prepared in the mayor's mansion. Free food galore, Greg thought. This is my chance to eat like a king. But when Greg arrived, he found guards at the gate. Sneaky, as always, he slipped through a kitchen window, stuffing his pockets with pastries and gobbling down roast beef. Suddenly, the kitchen door swung open, and there stood the mayor himself. "Greg! Caught red-handed!" shouted the mayor. Thinking quickly, Greg dropped the pastries and bolted out the back. He laughed to himself. "They'll never catch me!" While running through the forest outskirts of Chestnut Fairmont, Greg met a young girl named Clara, carrying a small basket of berries. "Please, sir," Clara said, "I'm taking these to my sick grandmother." Greg, as always, grabbed the basket. "I'll take those. I'm starving." Clara didn't cry or protest. Instead, she said calmly, "If you take my berries, you'll never find the magical feast hidden in this forest." Greg's ears perked up. "Magical feast? Tell me more." "It's said to appear only to those who earn it," Clara said with a knowing smile. "But you'll need to show kindness and generosity to find it." Greg waved her off and ate the berries. But as soon as he swallowed, he felt an unbearable hunger like never before. No matter what he ate, apples, bread, even the rest of his stolen food, nothing filled his stomach. Desperate, he wandered deeper into the forest, where Clara reappeared, sitting by a bubbling spring. "Still hungry?" she asked. Greg nodded, humbled. "Please, tell me how to stop this." "You must undo your greed," Clara said. "Return what you've taken and help others, or this hunger will follow you forever." For the first time in his life, Greg hesitated. Could he really give back what he'd taken? His stomach growled fiercely, and he knew he had no choice. He returned to Farmer Bella's house and mended her chicken coop. He cleaned the baker's shop after apologizing for stealing bread. He even helped Clara deliver food to her grandmother. With each act of kindness, the hunger lessened. By the end of the week, Greg felt light and free, and the townsfolk began to see a new side of him. One evening, Clara invited Greg to her home. To his amazement, her modest table was set with the most incredible feast he'd ever seen. Roasted vegetables, savory pies, and golden honey cakes. "This is for you," Clara said. "You've earned it." Greg was overwhelmed. For the first time, he realized that food tasted better when shared with others. Greedy Greg was no longer a thief. From that day forward, he became generous Greg, known for feeding the hungry and helping the poor. Greed leads to emptiness. Taking from others never truly satisfies. Kindness fills the heart. Giving and helping others brings true happiness. Change is always possible. No matter how far you've strayed, you can always make amends. And so Chestnut Fairmont flourished with kindness and generosity, proving that even the greediest heart can find redemption. The end. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more magical stories. We'd love to hear your favorite part in the comments below.